Oh, look, it's 3:33. 3:33. That's a sign. I know I have not been live in a minute, you guys. I have been extremely busy. You guys know when I'm MIA, it's nothing personal. It's just me working it. And put on my ear pods. You guys like my new ear cuff? I want to show it. He looks so handsome. Lucky. I'll show him real quick. There's my Lucky. خمسة الله يحمي كل الجن أحمي لراكو 5 بعيون عاداتي 5 بعيون عاداتي إن شاء الله يا رب حطوا كل العين كل الشر تبعتهم بالشقلوب إن شاء الله. So you guys, I can't see my blind ass. Hold on. Is that better? There we go. My Rakaruk, mashallah. Yeah, that doctor that said he was supposed to be put down back in October of last year. Smallah aleh, look at my baby. Mashallah. Khamsa. My babies are well protected, as am I. This is a talisman. I'm putting it the other way. But basically, it has on it a conjuration that reverses. So like if anybody tries to throw at me, it essentially automatically reverses it times 10. I don't even have to lift my fingers. It's the best thing. When people try to throw, it's automatic. It's like they did the work for me. Oh, so I'm blessed and favored. Thank you, Carolina. I want to talk about some interesting topics real quick. It's about 3:33 a.m. You guys, thank you for bearing with me. Do you know I'm still behind on readings? After I'm caught up, I don't know that I'm going to be doing them anymore because it's just impossible. I feel like, I mean, it's not just your guys' fault. It's like, how do you go from being like, I've known you guys for years. You guys have been coming to me for years. It's hard for me to just be so like sterile, like so just robotic. Like, okay, you know, it's just impossible when you built this almost decade-long relationship with a lot of you. And here's Sadie Goo. Here's my goo. Here's my big goo. My monster. My monster. I don't like to show them too much because, you know, envy, even though they're protected. ابعد منكم الشر إن شاء الله. ابعد منكم الشر. ابعد منكم الشر. Hey Shireen, it's Giannis. Can't wait for our call. Thank you guys for being patient. And even the new people, it's like the minis, they're supposed to be 10 minutes. First of all, that never happens. We put in a boundary so that they don't end up being like 2 hours. But I have never had a mini consult that lasted 10 minutes. Never. In fact, sometimes those go longer than the full consult. So I might just take that off altogether because it's kind of pointless. But anyway, the reason why my clients are so patient is because they know that every single one of them, without fail, has kept me for 2, 3, 4 hours. The best ones keep me on for 2. The shortest. So they know that you know, I'm not an asshole, but they know, like, realistically, they know, like, that how they do that to me, so they know this is why I have such a problem. So, and I want to do pick a card, but I feel bad doing one and I'm behind. So I'll ask you guys, would that be inappropriate? Thank you. Would that be, I'm going to do it because honestly, I have to make content and the people that I'm behind on, like, first of all, the minis, you guys got to get it together. Make sure you don't have a spam blocker. There's some people that I've called multiple times, rescheduled day after day after day, and they don't answer, and then they email me the next day that they didn't get a call. I leave messages, I leave texts, I leave emails. So that's another problem. You know, the readings are supposed to be, 45 minutes, hour maximum. They go for minimum 2 hours if I'm lucky. And that's not counting chit chat. That's just reading and talking about the situation. You know, sorry, but updating me on a situation or telling me about the situation, that's part of the consultation, even if you are a client, even if you have been a client before. It's still part of, that's why it's a reading and consultation. Or even if it's just a reading, but you guys want to kind of fill me in or, whatever, even though I ask you not to because I want to go in blind, but you guys feel like that's necessary, so whatever. That's part of the time. Like, I don't count the chit chat, hi, how are you? That's only fair. Even though a lot of readers do, they don't give a shit. They'll filibuster the whole time, and then your reading will be over and you'll be like, wait a minute, we were just chit chatting the whole time, and they don't care. I don't do that. Thank you, T. Emile. I miss you. Hey, girl. Long time. T. Emile, she has been one of mine since she is a day one. Shout out, Miss Day One. Where have you been? She has been following me for a long time. She's been a client of mine for years. See, like, I build relationships with my clients. Okay, but that's what I wanted to talk about today. Thank you, Limoncello. It's honestly nice to see you, Queen. Been missing you. Was worried if you were doing okay. Take care of yourself, please, my angel. Love it. Mwah. I love you so much. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm just, you guys know how I feel about going live if I'm behind on readings. It's inappropriate. I'm never behind on work. That's why I always say readings, but I feel bad about that. That's why I only go live like very late at night. I still have to I posted my full video of the beauty ritual that I did in January. If you guys didn't see the full length one, the short was posted like right away, but I posted the full length one on Instagram. I didn't post the full length one on YouTube yet, but it is on my Instagram at Arabian Conjure Official. And I posted the short of the road opener one in January, but I didn't post the full length one. I will post those on YouTube as well. But the shorts have been up for a while, in case you guys haven't seen it. The New Year's ones, and the Nehrus. I'm gonna be posting the short first, and then the full length one. But that, of course, that's been done. I just haven't had a chance to post it. Okay, so I will do a pick a card if you guys don't think that's rude. I have to talk. Hey, Kamal, I have to talk to my clients and see what they think. So I want to talk to you guys about energy vampires, or should I say energy parasites, and like the warning signs. Okay. Can you guys hear me good? Because I have these ear pods. I want to make sure you guys, can hear me clearly. I can't speak for everyone, but I support a pick a card. Yes, yes, we can. How do I go about getting a reading? They're closed right now, Habibti. If you don't mind waiting, though, email Gabby and she'll put you on as soon as, like, she'll put you on as early as I can. They are closed, but if you guys are willing to wait, contact Gabby and she'll put you on the schedule. Okay, you guys can hear good. All right, so I wanted to get into this just because of my own experiences, being a Sagittarius and an empathetic person. We attract people who, I don't want to say it like this, but we attract people who are drawn to our light, for lack of a better word. Not all of them, but a lot of the time, these energetic vampires or parasites, some of the times they're not doing it on purpose. It's just they don't have any self awareness. So they do it. Sadie, stop. Thank you, Carolina. Love you, Habibti. Bless you and your family. So some people don't have self awareness, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Others know exactly what they're doing. Okay, they live with this constant, like, comparative nature, this envy. So, like, a lot of you guys may be feeling like tired and like drained. And that's not because you're doing too much necessarily, but it's because you're doing too much for the wrong people. Okay. So, you know, like for example, with me, my friends understand that I work a lot, most of them. Okay. Sometimes I'll get like, oh, are you mad at me or whatever, but for the most part, they all know it's like nothing personal. I'm busy. I work a lot. But some people feel like they have, like they're entitled to having access to you and they don't care. So, and some people, they see like your empathy as a weakness. Everything, hi, I hope everything's going well. I haven't caught alive in a long time. My soon to be ex wife, best friend, made me aware of you years ago. Longtime fan. Oh, thank you, Justin. Oh, shit. What did I hit? Thank you, Justin. Hi, Shane. Hope everything's going well. I haven't caught you alive in a long time. My soon to be ex wife, best friend, made me aware of you. Thank you, Habibi. I'm sorry. Well, either congratulations or I'm sorry to hear about the soon to be ex wife, but this is a new chapter for you. And I'm glad you were able to catch us. My husband's name is Justin, too. Just FYI, you probably know that. But thank you for joining. I haven't been live. I am gonna, I found out that a lot of you guys like my lives. I didn't think that they were that popular. I I thought like these were probably you guys' least favorite. You guys like spell videos, but tell me in the chat if you guys like chats. I always thought these were like the boring things for you. We love your lives, really, really. Oh, that's good to know. I feel like they're the only things I've been able to do. Love the lives. Okay, good. I don't feel so bad because I feel like I haven't been giving you guys my best, but I'm going to. But I found out you guys like live, so that's why. I took notes because I wanted to make sure I don't miss my points. So So I want you guys to understand like the hidden trap of empathy. So being empathetic, some people can see as a weakness. It's not a weakness, but it can definitely become a pattern when you start to ignore. It can become a problem if you ignore patterns, basically. And like with me, for example, this has happened to me constantly. I always try to see the best in people, or like I'll pick, pick little parts of our friendship, which is really a bare minimum, like parts where we laugh or joke or whatever, and remember that. And sometimes the brain is designed to do that. It's like in a breakup, for example. You ever notice in a breakup, and this is psychologically a fact, when you're away from somebody, your brain pushes back all of the negative feelings and negative things that they did to you, and all the positive memories come to the forefront. So you kind of forget all the bad things that they've done, and all the good things stay in the forefront of your mind. So, you know, we're not see it's not that we're just seeing the good in people. We're overriding, our common sense and our intuition. And this is especially when you first, become friends with somebody. You start to notice red flags. And this can happen even like if you're in a business, if you're a reader, a business relationship, if you do work, spiritual work for people, even like therapists and things like that. You have to learn how to listen to your discernment and your intuition. Now, when you recognize what an energy vampire looks like, it makes it easier for you to avoid them. And I always knew all this, but I always just ignored it because if I felt like somebody need my help, I'm just that way. I can't see myself. Now you start to learn the hard way. Now I'm to the point where I'm like, fuck anybody. Like I'm not just gonna help people randomly anymore because literally, you know, and as soon as I'm able to, just believe you me, people are, there's some people out there that are just plain evil. They're just plain evil. They don't care about anybody but themselves, and they will do step on anybody or anything to get what they feel like they are entitled to without working for it. And I'll get to that. So because this is kind of, look at Frankie. This is kind of a strong topic. So you try to see the good in people. You override your intuition, and your third eye, your intuition, clocks people in seconds. You know, so you might like get like this vibe from a person. Like I've met people that right away, as soon as after I talked to them, I puked. I got sick. Okay. Or you just get this weird kind of feeling in your stomach, or just like how they talk or how the things that they say kind of sets off red flags. But you're like, oh well, they kind of have a funny personality or whatever, so you overlook it. But your intuition and your energy, your vibe, it clocks them before you do. So what these energy parasites, I like to call them, not vampires, they're energy parasites, because you're the host. Okay, a parasite locks onto its host and it sucks everything from them, but it doesn't give anything in return. Okay, so they're always in a crisis. All right, there's always something wrong. They're never in growth. They will dump problems on you. but they reject any solution that you offer them. So, say for example, somebody, a friend tells you, mentally I'm going through this, I'm not able to sleep, I'm constantly anxious, I feel, like I can't go in crowds of people and blah, blah, blah. And then you tell them, well, how about you go to a therapist, go to therapy, go to a doctor, try to meditate, do this, do that. You try to give them solutions, but none of your solutions are ever good enough. Okay. So they dump problems on you, but they don't take any of your solutions. Or they dump problems on you, but the second you have anything you want to talk about, like if this is a friend situation, they'll be like not even listening. Like you could tell, like they're not even like taking in anything you say. And then it'll just be like a response of like, oh, well, that sucks. Anyway, back to me and my problems, and I'm more important, and who cares about what you just said? I'm going through a problem, and blah, 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 me, right? Okay. That's another example of an energy parasite. They suck you dry. They take all your advice, your energy. They want all your time. They want you to solve all their problems for them. But when it comes to you, if you feel any type of way, they don't care to even listen, and they damn sure won't give you a good 2 cents or advice. They don't care enough to do so. Or like us spiritual people, we do, spiritual work. They'll be like, oh, can you read me about this? Can you do a reading for me about that? Can you, help me manifest this? Can you help me manifest that? But then say, of course, they don't offer you $1, and if you're like me, you won't take money from your friends, especially if they're themselves a spiritual worker, for example. If they do spiritual work for others, like most spiritual workers, when they do stuff for each other, they don't charge. They just, it's like a trade. But, they'll constantly ask you for what like say you do hair, you are a massage therapist, or you are a mechanic or whatever. They're always asking you for favors, but then when you ask them, when you need a ride or you need a favor, or you know, you want a reading back, you're always on the back point. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't make it. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'll do it later. It's like you're always on the back burner, but when they have an issue, it's like you got to drop everything to do what they need right then and there. Okay, if you got that, you got yourself energy parasite. Subtle guilt tactics. Okay. Oh, you're the only one I could talk to. You're my only friend. Oh, I don't know where I would be without you. Oh, all of that jazz. Okay. So they'll subtly guilt you. Like if you don't answer their phone calls or whatever. Oh, I really needed you. I was going through this and you didn't answer my call. Or constantly guilting you. Okay. They always have drama with everyone. Oh, thank you guys. Honestly, I wasn't even trying. I got my eyelashes done like a while ago. I finally found a lady in this town that does them. And really, I don't even need to wear makeup. I just have a little bit of bronzer. And I tried this new eyeshadow. I don't wear a lot of makeup usually. And a little bit of concealer, nothing much. But the lashes really like make it so that I barely don't have to wear makeup. But I'm old, so I can't see. Thank you, Boo. So always in a crisis, always trauma dumps on you, makes you feel guilty. Here's a good one. They always have drama with everyone. They always got drama in their life. Now, coming from me, that's kind of hypocritical because I'm one of those, there's always some kind of drama. I never start it, I just finish it. But you see, that this is a double edged thing because if you're a successful person, it attracts envy, it attracts drama. And that's unfortunate. It comes with being a successful person. People always want to start problems with successful people. Okay, they want to get your attention, especially on social media. They want you to mention their name. They want you. So, I mean, it's kind of different. Like, you see that people always come for me, and then I end them, and that's it. And then the next one tries. I don't know why people always try. Like, how many people I've ended, like, shown who the hell I am, and yet they still try. Like, this ain't my first rodeo, but I don't know. I don't know. But then again, I do a lot of like hex work and stuff, so it's kind of the name of the game. If you're going to do dark work all the time, and you guys run up this live, please. I got 56 people in here, which it's 4 in the morning, so I didn't expect it to be too full. But the least you guys could do is give me them thumbs. Okay, for all of you who are nice enough to give me the thumbs up, I am wishing you all the abundance, prosperity, success, good health, good luck, inshallah ya Rab, wal ab wal ab wa rahmatullah. May you always get what you're hoping for in life, inshallah ya Rab. For all 35 of you out of 60, you guys are stingy. Come on, 61 people, like the damn live. Jeez. Okay, well, for all of you who do like the live, you're going to have something lucky and blessed by the end of the month, inshallah ya Rab. Watch. Watch, I speak it into existence. By the end of the month, which is already April 28th, something lucky is going to happen for all of you who hit the like button. So let's see. I only have 2 days. Let's test this. Something lucky, inshallah, for each and every person that liked this video. Will have something lucky happen to them by May 1st. Inshallah, ya Rab. So let's see. Okay. My words are powerful now. So yeah, I find myself in drama, but again, I do a lot of dark work. Even though it's justified, I don't just go around cursing people for no reason. I curse those who are predators, who are abusers, who hurt women, hurt children, hurt other men. Men shouldn't be left out of these things. Men can be sexually assaulted. Men can be harmed. So anybody who's just a scumbag who deserves it, I will do it. And yes, hey Alexis Habibti, love you. And I did not forget about you, boo. I'm getting to you. Love you so much. I am gonna call you. Thank you for bearing with me. But girl, I call you regardless, so you don't need a damn appointment. But I know who's beating on his wife. I know one who's beating on his wife and referred her to you. Thank you, Habibti. I remember I was on a reading one time, and this girl's sister, her boyfriend, came breaking into the house in the middle of the reading, and she was screaming. She lived on an island. I think it was Jamaica, or it was somewhere in the Caribbean. Might have been Trinidad or something, but anyway, I hear screaming and commotion, and she's crying. She's like, my sister's ex, he's beating on her. I'm like, hang up and call 911. And she's like, I have another phone. It's not like America. We don't have 911. And so I grab my cauldron. I start burning my bakhur, and it was copal. And the first thing I thought of was Santa Muerta, and I started calling on her because I had the copal, and I'm ringing my bell, and I'm praying to Santa, and I'm like, please help this woman, stop this man from beating on her. And that's all I could do. And she said that the guy just stopped. He looked at her, looked at the sister, and it was like he was in some kind of trance and walked out. I told you guys this story before, and I know that was Santa because she does not like that shit. Remember that? You guys remember that story? If you guys are like old and have been following me for a long time, some of you will remember that story. I wonder what happened to Jay Phoenix. I haven't seen Jay Phoenix in a while. For some reason, Jay Phoenix popped in my mind just now. Anyway, so drama is part of it. You know, if they're constantly in drama with somebody, there's always somebody like, there's always some beef with somebody. They're usually the common denominator, okay? Especially if they're not like, you know, uber successful and constantly, whatever, and people are constantly attacking them for being problematic. There's a difference between getting attacked just for people being envious and being attacked because you're constantly saying shit that's problematic or even racist or whatever. So there's a difference. So constantly in drama. The other thing you want to look out for is if somebody is always talking shit about their friends, their loved ones, even family members, doing things to like cause problems in their lives, like say, you know, trying to get them in trouble at work, or just doing things that are just spiteful and evil to other people that they once were friends with. Bet your ass that your turn is coming. It's only a matter of time. If they could badmouth their friends, if they could badmouth their relatives, if they could badmouth people that they're supposedly they care about, then who's to say that they're not going to do it to you? So you definitely need to watch out for people that badmouth their friends. Now, so okay, so if they're gonna sit and tear people, down, they're gonna your turn is gonna come. So why do kind people get targeted, right? Because we listen, we don't judge quickly, and we give chances. All right, but predators or energy parasites or vampires, they don't necessarily look for weak people. They look for people who are open without boundaries. And that's one of my biggest problems personally is I have a hard time with boundaries. Monica, thank you, Habibti. I love you and so grateful to you and your spirits for everything you've been blessing me with since 2019. My beautiful sisters, no one like you. AC fan for life, Habibti. Love you, my baby girl. Ooh, I gotta take a screenshot. Thank you. Because we get our energy from source, but they get theirs from other people. Boom, Alexis. Boom. That is exactly. Alexis, did you put on your did you do your TikTok yet? If so, drop the at, girl. Drop the at. Did you make your Alexis is fire when it comes to astrology. I've been telling her for the longest time that she needs to do a TikTok to talk about tarot, astrology. She learned tarot pretty much from me. I taught her the tarot pretty much. She, you know, has been one of mine for years and years. And, over time, she taught me a lot about astrology, and I taught her about the tarot. Long story. When we talk, I'll tell you about it, but definitely plan on starting. Girl, I'm waiting so I can, like, shout you out. And see, that's the thing. When you're confident in yourself, you'll put your friends on. Like, how many people have I shouted out and put you guys on? Like, I'm backed up for reading, so what do I expect? You guys to wait? No, I'm going to send you to somebody that I know is good at them. When people are so afraid to even have other spiritualists on their channel, and I've had many other spiritualists on my channel. I've gone live with other spiritualists. Like, I've tagged other spiritualists. I've shouted them out. Can you ask a question? Yes. What's your question? It's free to support and uplift and celebrate your friends and people without any selfish reason attached. Exactly. Can you please tell us how you came to work with Jin almost exclusively? Yes, I will. I will. How I came to work with Jin almost exclusively. Now, keep in mind, I still work with my other spirits, but ever since January 17th, 2024, when they appeared to me, it's like we built a very strong bond, and their communication with me has been, it's always been clear, but it's been extra clear. I threw water in one of their faces, for fuck's sake, because I was so terrified of what I saw. And they didn't burn my entire house down. And that says a lot, because that was a very big disrespect. And I did that. Not on purpose, not because I meant to disrespect, but I was fucking scared. Like, when you see when you're woken up by a strong heat, and that whole experience over those couple of days, the towels moving on their own, and then the holographic, in the tub, and the whispering in my ears, and the breathing in my ears, and then putting in the ear pods to drown it out, and then they start talking through my AirPods, and then being woken up out of my dead sleep by this hot, like, it was so hot it woke me up, and opening my eyes and seeing an apparition with a fire in its chest. I just freaked, and I was like, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, through the water. And that could have, if I was anybody else that didn't take such good care of them, like, their altars are hooked up. They're very well hooked up. And I know they would have burned my whole house down and killed my animals and made my husband get into a car accident because he wasn't home. They would have tore my life apart if I was anybody else that disrespected them like that. But they know me, and they know I meant no harm, and they know they just startled me. And ever since then, they never showed themselves to me like that, not appearance. I've heard them breathing, and they've made their presence very known, but in other ways. But I think they realized that popping up on me like that was not something I was ready for, and I never thought would happen. I worked with them for 30 years and it never happened up until that point. And if I would have been expecting it, then maybe it would have been different, but I did not expect that. And when it happened, I was terrified. So my point is, so after that, I just, we got much closer and I apologized and I kept giving them offerings and I did rituals for them. And I said, I'll only, I want to honor you and apologize for my disrespect. I said, but at the same time, I respect you. You guys have to respect my boundaries because you can't just do that unannounced. Like, announce yourself so I know what's going on because I didn't know what the hell was happening and I didn't mean to do that. And we just kind of grew this understanding. And my cat, I would know that they were here because all my cats would line up right in front of my bed, like in a certain part of the bedroom, and they would all stare at this specific spot in the corner of the room. And there's nothing there. Like, there's no attic for any like animal or anything to get in there. There's no like there's nothing that they could logically cause them to do that except for they were seeing something. And at exactly at like 6 a.m. when the sun rise and exactly when the sun would set, they would line up and they would stare at this one part of my room. And so I knew that was them. They would make their appearance, they would make themselves known, and they would give me signs. Like, I would see license plates that said gin, or I even saw a license plate that said a name of a gin that I work with. And so I did meditations and connected with them, and I had many dreams of them basically telling me that, they want to be, my main focus in terms of my work. And I made it clear that all the deities that have helped me as well throughout the years that have made themselves known to me, that I brought an altar into my home and I bought them gifts, and like even with Santa, have her tattooed on me. Once I make a commitment to a deity or spirit, that's it. Like, I don't kick them out. I don't throw them out like trash. I wouldn't even bring them in my home until I know that we have a connection. Some people call on deities without having any connection to them. They just are like, how can I learn to work with them? I need to reconnect with my roots. Are you Arab? What are you? I may have a class. I may do a class, but it's only going to be for MENA practitioners. So people that speak, yeah, well then, yeah, Moroccan, yeah. People that at least speak Arabic, because I can't teach you how to say certain recitations if you don't have that baseline of at least being able to speak Arabic so that you could pronounce the words properly. And the bloodline, it is hard, very hard to get. The jinn don't trust just anybody because historically humans have treated them very poorly. I'm not Arab, but it doesn't seem right to learn to work with them. I feel they would come to you and make it known. Um, Not necessarily. Um, you see, that's, well, yeah, I mean, they would, but here's the thing. Some people don't have the wherewithal to understand what they're when they're reaching out. And that's something that if I did do a class, I would want to test each person's like level of spiritual connection. Um, is it mostly a bloodline thing to work with them? It is. It is. And I don't care what people think. If I say that, it is mostly a bloodline thing. And Moroccans are very well known in the MENA community. Um, that's Middle East and North Africa. Uh, to being, we say ashtar fi sihr, or shatrin fi sihr, meaning they're very smart when it comes to sihr. And they have a connection. And the way they practice with jinn is very different to how the Levant practices with them. Moroccan, they have an African spin on it, and they have different ways that they practice. But but I'll get into that. So if I were to do a class, it would be only for MENA uh, and people who at least speak Arabic, like as a found like conversationally. Preferably if they knew Arabic Fusha, which is the proper written language. Algerians, yeah, you're considered MENA, yes. Um, and I would want to test to see if they do have like a spiritual bloodline by doing a divination. That would be way like down the road when I have time to do that. Um, do you identify with their spin? Do you speak Farsi? No, I don't speak Farsi. Do I identify with the Moroccan spin? Um, yeah, yeah, I do. And it's not as much of a spin as you would think. It's just, it's a little bit different in terms of, it's not that different, but they have different like additions to how they like work with them, if that makes sense. Um, how about Pakistani or Afghanistan? Do you speak? Do they? Well, it depends. Some of them do speak Arabic if they know the Quran. I'm from North Africa, and I love you. I love you too. Thank you, Habibti. Hey, my raspberry sister. And I didn't forget about you either. And thank you so much for posting on my fan page. I love you so much. But anyway, sis, got people around me. Can't text love and miss you. Love and miss you more. Can read Arabic like the Quran. Well, that's helpful. So you would be able to pronounce, if I wrote something for you in Arabic, you'd be able to read it and pronounce it properly. So I don't even know. We're getting way ahead of ourselves, but because I don't want anybody to be offended that I only accept, but it's only simply because it is a closed practice in my how I've been taught. There is a level of the jinn don't trust everybody, okay, and including Arabs, North Africans, whoever. Not because, it's not necessarily a race thing. It's because the jinn were enslaved. Oh, I look Persian. Thank you. Thank you, Woody. I appreciate that. No, I'm Palestinian, full blooded. But I definitely love Persian people, Iranian people, and I respect, I definitely respect them. I did the Nehru's, we call it Nehru's in the Levant because we have people that celebrate it in, in Palestine, in Lebanon, and Syria. And we call it, they say Nowruz, we say Nehru's, but I did the Nehru's ritual in honor of Iran and what they're going through and our attack of them unprovoked. And so I did that for them, for you guys. But, and I always do a ritual around the spring equinox anyway. And I just did it with the Persian twist this year. Usually I work with Ishtar, which is because Astara comes from Ishtar, but because of what was happening in Iran, I did Nehru's. But what I was saying, I the jinn were enslaved and they were treated very badly and by humans, and humans did them very dirty. They would bind them to certain objects. They would, force them to do their bidding, and they treated them like slaves. And so that's, do I deal with black magic? You mean magic that is of a darker, of a more evil nature? Yes, I do. I don't like to really call it black magic because I've heard that some people take that offensively as like a racial thing. When I personally don't see, I think it's just a force of habit. As people say white and dark magic, they're saying what's white is automatically considered good and what's black is bad. I think it's just people associate like black, like darkness, like when you're in the dark as being evil, like being scared, being dark. But so, like, when it comes to like baneful work, I'll call it baneful magic. Yes, I do. Absolutely. When necessary. And it can have consequences, yes. But eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I know it can have consequences, but if somebody deserves it, hello, hi Bridget Bible. I only do it when it is necessary in a way to protect myself, protect my loved ones. Welcome, Bridget, to the family, y'all. And if somebody tries to hurt myself, my family, my loved ones, my animals, my business, my clients, anybody I care about, yes. And I'll eat that consequence like Cheerios. And that's why you'll see I often do have drama and issue because and around, especially around the waning moon, you'll see I, things always, I always have some kind of annoyance. That's what I call it. And that's what comes with putting yourself out there. Thank you, Habibti. My Raspberry. I'll always support your page. You're amazing. More people need to find you and see the powerful, trustworthy work you do. Habibti, I love you. Thank you, Albi. You did not have to do that, sweetheart. Thank you. Grateful for your videos and wisdom. Mwah. I'm grateful for all of you. You guys are amazing. But you guys are all bots, and I send myself flowers because I'm gonna spend like $300 per bouquet instead of just buying my flowers at Stop and Shop or Costco for my altars. Sending myself flowers is just so, yeah, like, but that's okay. It's like I stopped posting email testimonials. I keep them for myself though. So don't not send them to me. I'm gonna start posting them again. I don't give a fuck because now even my haters. Oh, she sends her. So I stopped posting the emails because they're like, oh, they're fake. Okay, I stopped posting them. Stop posting text messages. Oh, they're fake. Then I only posted flower cards. Now those are fake. Okay, fuck yeah, I stopped posting anything. The videos, fake. Everything's fake? Okay, chalas, I won't post any of it. PayPals. Oh yeah, I said myself PayPals. Cash apps. Like, go fuck yourself. People are so goddamn jealous and envious. It's like pathetic. And me, I put the blinders on and run my race. I don't watch nobody else's shit. The only time I see, like, even when I curse somebody, I don't even look to see if it's working. Other people send me stuff. Or, like, if somebody's posting subliminals, they'll send me screen recordings or whatever. People send that stuff to me. I don't go looking for it. But, like, it's just hilarious, like the people that are obsessed with me, and I take up so much space in their head because they hate the fact that, like, I've been around for almost a decade and they think they're entitled to have what I have when they didn't even like pay their dues. They got lazy a year in, not even months in to their practice, and they just start, making excuses as to why they can't do this or they can't do that. There's always something. Like, I worked my ass off, okay? And I never had a negative word about me in 7 years of business. Now I'm at 9 years of business. Going on, actually, now 9.5, going on 10 years of business. Okay, my first negative word came after 7 years of business, and it was all bullshit like trolls. It wasn't even like legitimate. So, whatever. And when you've been in a spiritual business for this long, I mean, there's people that you're never going to please no matter what you do. So, but you don't see me changing my name, changing my brand. You'll see people changing their names to a million names their first year of business. Why do you think that is? They're trying to hide something. But anyway, if you were like them, you'd take each and every client and wouldn't stay on the phone longer than 30 minutes. Exactly. Exactly. But you'd be surprised. If you find one legit, that's why now I almost don't even want to be, I don't even want to really be associated with like social media witches or social media spiritualists or social media or any, because majority are scamming ass motherfuckers. If you find one legitimate one out of 20, I mean, that's probably about what it is. Like, 1 out of 20 is has a gift and is not a scumbag. Maybe 1 out of 20, and I know all of them. I like I'm friends with all of them. Like, so or at least know most. I mean, I'm sure there's more out there, but I'm saying, like, the ones that I'm thinking of, I know them all. I'm sure there's others, but there's definitely way more frauds than there are legitimate, like by a long shot. Thank you, CCR. Love you. Supporters since 2019. Always happy to see your lives. You're the real deal. Love you, Habibti. I'm so thankful. I'm gonna save that. But you guys are all bots. You're all bots. You know. I mean, I guess I keep good bots. Your hair looks very pretty. Thank you, girl. But no, I mean, I don't even like to associate myself as a spiritual worker because of the amount of fraud and predatory behavior. I mean, when you have people out here, like I heard about a situation where and he was doing really good at the time, and this came directly from the person the person who did this. This came directly from somebody who worked for that person. So they got all the inside information, and they said that it was bad. They got work from this person. Things were going well. Oh, thank you, honey. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. My husband made me pizza. Yes, please. Thank you, Habibi. I'm so spoiled. He made me frozen pizza. Like I should be eating this at 4:30 in the morning, but I haven't eaten yet. So he got work from this person when things were going well in his life, and he wanted to just keep his success. So he goes to this so-called practitioner, and he gets crown of success and prosperity. Shortly after, the client's life goes to hell. He loses his job, loses all sorts of money, had nothing. And him and his significant other were about to get evicted. So he reaches out to this practitioner, and he's like beside himself, and he goes, like, I'm about to be homeless. I lost my job ever since I got work with you. My life went to complete hell, and I don't know what to do. Please help me. The person that was working for this practitioner, answering their emails, was like, oh my God, okay, let me see what I could do. She contacts the practitioner, and she's like, this guy, he's about to get he's about to get evicted. He lost his job. Everything went to hell after that kind of success. And, him and his significant other, they're about to lose everything. Like, you need to help. This so called spiritualist basically said, oh, well, he has to pay me $900 if he wants me to fix it. And she had to email this guy. I would have refused. I would have been like, no, you could tell him that if that's what you want to do, but I'm not telling him that. And Gabby would never, like, no way in hell. And I mean, but what could this person do? Like, she's not the boss. Gabby knows how I am. Gabby knows me, so she knows. Like, she would just be like, she wouldn't even have to ask me. She'd be like, I'll tell Shireen, and she'll fix it right away. And that has never happened to me. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, knock on wood. Alhamdulillah. That never happened to me. And never would. But God forbid I would do everything in my power in the physical world and the spiritual world to help that person. And definitely not charge him. If anything, no, definitely not. I would definitely do it for free. And, you know, and honestly, if I would do a reading, and this would never be the case, but if I was that person, knowing that it's happened before to other people, I would have refunded the guy's money and given him to somebody else to fix for free, and I would have paid that person, knowing that my work has done that to other people before. Not me, this particular person I'm talking about. This wasn't the first time that their work has supposedly caused people's lives to do the opposite of what they were paid to do. So, I mean, just unreal. But no, they didn't care. Sure, you never beat yourself up for having integrity and being honest. I'm sorry people take advantage so much. No, I don't. I don't beat myself up for having integrity. I beat myself up for doing so much for who I think are friends. Try to like mentor them and lead them in the right path, only to I can't I can't even talk about it right now for legal reasons, but that's okay. I like, this ain't my first rodeo, and I always prevail. So I always keep my ducks in a row. There's so much I wish I could tell you guys. As soon as everything is over with, I will tell you. But you, so much I'm gonna tell you. I got some good stories for you, but I can't speak on it right now until everything is finished. Shireen, I'm more confident and much happier since you got my back. Habibti, I will always have your back. You're such a sweet person. Honestly, I've watched you for years and I've always loved how you carry yourself. Oh, thank you, my love. It's something you can't fake, but you guys would be so surprised how fake social media is. Like, people will like want they'll be talking about how, other people don't take care of themselves and end up on all sorts of medications and blah blah blah, and then you see them and you'd just be shocked, the contrast of what they preach and who they are in social media as opposed to what they are in real life and how they live. It's just crazy. But some people piss on a hornet's nest, and that's what someone did. And now they're gonna find out. Like, I'm a professional. I keep track of everything and keep receipts of everything. So, people always don't ever underestimate your opponent. And that goes for me too. I never underestimate my opponent in any situation or my enemies. I always stay 10 steps ahead. I always predict what somebody might be capable of and always cover my ass just in case. Always. Thank God for that. So, yeah, so me just working with Jin came unrelated, but someone did me extremely wrong and only had €10 to their name. I would make sure I got that €10. Girl, I can't wait till everything's done and over with to tell you guys the audacity, but I will. I can't speak on it now for legal reasons, but I'm actually excited about this because when you open yourself up to people exposing the truth, like in a legal sense, that's your mistake. And now You, some people should leave well enough alone, because I was going to leave things alone despite damaged property and everything else. But you want to go there? Okay, now I'm going to get every dime for all the damages that I have fully documented, and how. I'm speaking like in code. You guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but but you'll know. You'll know. Hold on, let me see. Um, okay. So, oh, as far as the gin, yeah, I still, okay, so what I was saying, so some people just don't give a shit. They'll, they don't care if you are losing your house and they took the last money to your name. They will continue to suck you dry if you allow them. Some people in this field, and use that loosely because they're just scammers. They will take advantage. Anybody who is quick to take your money, but not quick to, like, will flip out on you if you ask a question, or will, like, you tell them, hey, you did this work and now I'm losing everything, and then they just want more money. That's just crazy. Run, look, 444. Like, that's a sign. Like, that is just bad, bad. But when it comes to my other deities, they all get taken care of exactly the same. They still get their fruits, their offerings, their flowers, their fresh water, their favorite liquors, their gold, their silver. I don't, just because I primarily work with the jinn doesn't mean I don't work with Santa, doesn't mean I don't work with the other spirits, and it definitely doesn't mean that I don't take care of their altars still. Once they're in my house, that's it. They're in my house forever. I don't take them in and say, "Oh, well, you didn't give me enough, or you're not working enough for me, or you haven't manifested enough for me," because that's not the case with any of them. I just I feel like they're more mainstream now, and a lot of people are working with these deities. So the jinn, there's so many of them. They're just like humans, just like we have a ton of humans. There's a world of jinn. So yeah, there's seven jinn kings for every day of the week, but not very many people can get the jinn to actually cooperate with them, because they do have free will. Just like humans have free will, they have free will. So they're very different in that aspect. But once that you build that connection with them, and they have been in my family, they are family. And some people say, oh, you can't procreate with the jinn. Well, one of my ancestors did, and a lot of people believe you can't. Yes, you can, and there's plenty of hadiths that will back that up. Although hadith is not Quran, but you know, this is carried on by oral tradition, and there's a lot of families that have passed down that an ancestor procreated with a jinn, because they shapeshift as humans, and a lot of the time it's a human woman who gets impregnated by a male jinn, is usually how it works. I think it's pretty rare for a female human to, I mean, a female jinn to get impregnated by a male, but I know I've heard that it has happened. But anyway, right, exactly. Yes, you can. Yeah, but some white people think they know more about our culture than, they don't even know about their own culture, but they know about ours. It's so funny. Okay, back to, so yeah, my point is they pretty much like want to take over most of the work because I've done a lot for them over the years and I've earned their trust. So, despite my little episode when I threw the water at them when they scared the shit out of me, they know I have good intentions and I've kept every one of my promises, and they see that I still treat my other spirits with the utmost respect, and I'll still do workings with them, when I need to. It's just they do, I work with them 90% of the time. Even with candle work, I'll just add like a Taoiz or a Wafak in the candle work. So that's how I kind of, and my readings too, I only read with the jinn now. Eat Habibti, nourish your body. Thank you, baby. I am. So, I want to talk about energy parasites, okay? People who have no conscience. They don't care how much you've helped them. They don't care how much you've done for them. They feel like they're entitled to what you have, okay? A big red flag, people who constantly badmouth others, okay? If they sit with you and tear someone else down, just understand your turn is coming. Why kind people get targeted? Because you listen, you don't judge quickly, and you give chance after chance. But like I said, predators don't necessarily look for weak people. They look for people that are open without boundaries, which obviously I have a problem with. Now, the shift from kindness to discernment. This is where you have to learn to empower yourself, okay? And not just warn. You can be kind, but have standards and boundaries. You don't owe your access and your energy to anybody. Not everyone deserves your understanding. Okay? Closure, peace, and healing are not group projects. Some people don't need to come with you on those journeys. All right? And stop trying to prove you're a good person by tolerating bad behavior. The right people won't require you to drain yourself to keep them. And a lot of the times you'll go from being their favorite person, and a lot of people with borderline personality, you'll go from being their favorite person who they attach themselves to being their worst enemy. So not everyone needs to be cut off, but you have to learn how to place where they belong correctly. Like, do they belong, in my life? Do they belong, you know, should they be allowed to have constant access to me or consistent access to me? You have to use discernment for that. Your privacy is your protection. Not everything about you needs to be known. Okay, just because people trust you with their, innermost secrets and thoughts doesn't mean you need to trust them. Okay, they can use it against you. That's a big thing. You think you could trust your private, secrets with people? I never, like, nothing I ever tell anybody except for people that are really close to me. Everything that comes out of my mouth to anybody, I think to myself, would I care if what I'm saying now is broadcasted to the world? And if the answer is yes, then I won't say it. So you always speak, especially now, best friends that you've grown up with for years. You have to use your discernment on that. There's friends that I've had for years. Frankie, stop trying to eat my pizza. There's friends that I've had for years that I would trust, and that they have proven their trust to me. I've been friends with them 20 plus years. Okay, I've had a friendship. My friend Virginia, I've been friends with her for 32 years now. My friend Dana, I've been friends with since 2000, and well, we've known each other, like who each other are since like middle school. So, I mean, but I don't really count that because we weren't really close because we didn't go to the same high school. So I would say since 2002, so we're in 2006, so that's 24 years. Okay. I have a lot of friendships, 20 years, 24 years, 32 years. I mean, long-term friendships. If you, people that you know don't have at least one friend that has been with them since childhood, or if they moved out of state or moved out of the country, that's different. I moved out of state and I still have these friends. Like, we still talk, we still keep in touch. I was supposed to go to one of their weddings. I was in their first wedding. This is their second wedding, but I couldn't go because I didn't want to leave Rocco. But if people can't keep a friendship, then there's typically a reason behind that. I've had every single friend that I've ever had my whole life, except for I've had a falling out. I could count on one hand how many people I fell out with that I will never speak to again. I fell out with people that were cool. Like, I would still be there for them and they would still be there for me. But people that I would never speak to again, that I've had a falling out with, I can maybe count on two fingers, really. So everybody else, I may not like talk to them all the time, but if they needed me, I'd be there, and vice versa. Okay, now the spiritual part of this. Okay, some people, when you overshare, you open the door. Stop, Frankie. And being too available is kind of like a pipe that's leaking. You're energetically leaking, okay? And they're sucking that dry, all right? And especially if you're doing well or you're doing better than they are, some people, like, evil eye isn't always like an intentional thing, but a lot of people, they, like, I've seen this with my own eyes a few times, and it's very disturbing. People who literally get angry to see someone else succeed. The older we get, the more we realize how much better off we are on our own, especially after age 40. You are damn right about that. And you notice you only need a few good friends in your life, even one or two good friends in your life. That's all you really need, okay? But evil eye is like all around. And you also don't want to be that person. And I used to tell someone, I tell this to anybody because I've seen this a lot. People who literally, it goes beyond competitive. Like, I'm competitive, okay? Like, when I was younger and I was in dance or I played sports or whatever, I'd always want to win. I was in martial arts. I always had to kick ass. I always had to win the sparring. I used to take Taekwondo, which I know is like the shitty, like, American martial arts, but it taught me a good ass whooping. I used it a lot. And when I got into street fights and bar fights and stuff when I was young, which I'm not condoning, but back in my day, we didn't do this rah rah internet bullshit. Okay, we either met up and fought and threw hands, or I personally would take it to the altar. but usually like it was one or the other. I was either whooping your ass or whooping your ass on the altar. Most of the time I would just whoop your ass with my hands. But nowadays, like people like use guns and shit, like they can't do a fair fight anymore. They're either attacking you on social media, talking shit about you. It wasn't like that in my younger days. We used to bump it out, but now it's different. But you'd be surprised the people that you think would be happy for your success. Like I have a friend, Dana. Shout out Moto if you ever watch this. We call each other Moto, like from those old Motorola commercials. We would go, "Hello, Moto." And she'd be like, "Hello, Moto." Like, remember those? You have to be old to remember that. So we, to this day, we call each other Moto. That shit, that commercial was the best. Hello, Moto. But anyway, so she was very successful at a young age, and mashallah, and she opened up a bar at like 20. I remember I was getting married, so I was 27. She was 26. She's 6 months younger than me, and she she opened up a very successful bar, and she employed a good amount of people. And then her mentee, someone she mentored, she made her manager to the bar. He began to feel very entitled to what she had, and she got sick. And people are always like talking shit, saying, "Oh, she got that bar because she got into a car accident." And this car accident they were talking about was from like 2001. She opened this bar in 2010, and she only got like 10 grand in this accident. She bought a boob job. I mean, I'm saying this because she openly talked about this. She got a boob job with it. Back then, boob jobs were 10 grand. So she didn't, none of that money had anything to do with that bar. And people were always downplaying her accomplishment. And I remember what she had when, what she was, I was her first roommate. She was my first time moving out. It was like The Real World. Remember that reality show, The Real World? It was three couples and me. So six people, seven people all together, and me. It was a three-bedroom. Each, no, it was one, two, three. No, it was two. No, it was two couples and me. So it was Tim and Tabitha, Sarah and Billy, and then me. So it was five of us. And it was a three-bedroom apartment. They each shared an apartment, two bathrooms, and it was fun. It was fun, but it got to be a lot. I remember rent was only like $200 back then for all of us to rent that apartment. It was $200 each. And then Moto, she moved to Tampa, and I was her first roommate, and we got an apartment. And it was a two-bedroom, one bathroom, and that apartment was $700 a month each, and we split it, so $350 each. Man, that was nothing back then. For now, back then it was a lot, but now it's, man, looking back at that, it was crazy. Anyway, so I saw what she had. I saw her work her ass off. Like I was there. And I remember her like, getting that hair license. I remember her struggling in the salons. I remember her, breaking down on Dale Mabry and calling me and having to get her a tow. And I remember all the trials and tribulations. We used to, shop at the Magic the witchy stores, we would call them. She knew I was like, witch, and she's like, oh, I found this witchy store. Like, I watched her growth. I watched everything that she went through to build herself up and to get that bar. And so 2010 came around and she opened up Amnesia, it was called. And it was very successful. And people always downgraded her success. They said, "Oh, she got the money from this accident." And then I would check them like, "Actually, no, she bought boobs with that." "Oh, she got it from her dad dying." "Actually, no, he left her land, not money. She did that on her own." And I would get into fights with people and defend her and be like, "Stop hating. Like, she's self-made. Like, what part of self-made do you not understand? I watched that girl build herself up, and y'all are not about to put down her accomplishments." She bought a house at 21. I followed right after her, bought a house at 22. She, like, surround yourself with people who elevate themselves. And if you are that type of person, a go-getter, make sure you surround yourself with people who will uplift you and not like prey on your downfall or be jealous because they want what you have. So I would always defend her. And it got to a point, she was so successful that her right hand guy thought he was entitled to a part of her business because she got sick. His girlfriend at the time was her mom was a witch, and Moto got pretty sick. And we had this was back in 2017. Her bar was open for about 7 years, and I remember I was really busy. This when I first started Arabian Conjure in the channel, and I was getting pretty busy and still working a regular job. And she just came to my mind. I hadn't talked to her for a while, and I called her, and I heard her voice, and it didn't even sound like her. She sounded so like just tired and sick. And I'm like, "Are you okay, Moto?" And she's like, "No, Moto, I don't feel good." She's like, "You haven't seen my Facebook?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I've been so busy." And I went on her Facebook, and she looked swollen. Like, it looked like she had gained a lot of weight, but you could tell it wasn't like fat weight. It was like water. She legit like looked like, the Willy Wonka girl when she ate the blueberry. That's like how she looked. Like, she just blew up. And I'm like, this isn't normal. I'm like, this isn't like, I could just tell this was spiritual. So I told her, I was like, "Moto," I was like, I'm gonna do some spell work on you." And she was so tired and so, because the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And I was like, this is spiritual. Somebody's doing something to you. Now keep in mind, this guy and his girlfriend or wife, whatever, fiance, was running her bar, and they were robbing her blind as they were doing it. Allegedly. Allegedly robbing her blind. I think it is in my opinion that they were robbing her blind. Anyway, so I sent her a package of like cleansing baths and oils and stuff like that. And I sat with her on FaceTime, and I wanted her to see what I was doing, and just I wanted to like kind of heal her with her on the phone because it was so heavy. We were so far apart. Like, I wanted to have her energy in front of me. And like, I was doing the conjuration, and I trust her with sihr. I was doing sihr, and I sent her a blue candle for the gym that I was working with. It was for a Wednesday. And I sent her a blue candle to light for the gym. And I said, just light this candle and put the oil that I sent you on it and just light it while I repeat these chants, while I do these chants. And this particular conjuration, I had to repeat this chant 111 times. And so I did that, and I was repeating it in Arabic and repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. And then finally, I literally watched her like fall asleep. Hi, Maria. Okay, then somebody will get back to you about your case, Habibti. Um, so I literally just watched her pass out. And so I hung up on the phone. She woke up, she called me, and she's like, it was crazy. I don't even remember falling asleep. I was like, you just kind of knocked out. And so, like, that whole week she started feeling better, and she had an appointment in the hospital to go see a endocardiologist, endo something, chronologist. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And she said after leaving that office, she ran into another endocrinologist. They're like hormone doctors, and they just struck up a conversation in the elevator, and she was telling him, what was going on, and he was looking at her swelling, and he goes, I know exactly what's wrong with you. You have Cushing's disease, which is a very rare, it's a very rare, like, uh, thyroid issue. So he wanted to do surgery on her, and she said okay, and she looked up his reviews and did some research, and he was really good, and he was willing to help her, whether or not her insurance, paid for it, and luckily they did. She was getting, in the meantime, she started feeling better, and her swelling started going down. They set up the surgery it was like 2 weeks away, and he did the surgery. And within a month of this whole situation, she went from being like a swollen, bloated individual to like all that weight just shut off. It was like all water, and it was all from her hormones. And she was my very first testimonial. And the spirits worked through me and the doctor that she just randomly ran into. And she still sees that doctor today. And she was, mashallah, able to have a baby on her own, which they said she would never be able to do because of the issues she was having before. And I made her a believer. She always believed in my readings, but I never did work for her prior to that. She was always kind of religious, so she didn't want to take it that far. But her mom even said to me, Shireen, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because, she was like that for like a year. And it was all because, and get this, when she got better and she got to go to work, that manager that she had, he was so mad. And he was like demanding, a chunk of her business. And it was a whole big episode. But he felt entitled to what she worked for just because he didn't have it. And you'd be surprised. So, energy vampires are real. And, it's like you have to, it's spiritual warfare. and you have to protect your energy. And you have to position people accordingly in your life. And you have to understand like what's happening beneath the surface of people around you, and not just their behavior, but pay attention. Energy parasites or energy vampires, but I like to call them parasites. They're not demons, they're not monsters. They're people who are spiritually empty, chaotic, unhappy. They feed through, people who are leaking energy. They feed through attention, sympathy, access. Okay, sometimes they don't want your advice, they want your energy, they want your life, they want to switch destinies with you. That's a whole nother thing I want to talk about. They want to steal your destiny. Not everyone that drains you hates you. Some people just envy and they compare and they could project onto you. They project subconsciously. And they may not start by hating you, but over time they can begin to hate you if they can't achieve what you've achieved. Now, why do empaths get spiritually drained? And even like after readings, you know how drained I get after readings, especially long 2-3 hour ones. Okay, you're absorbing people's energy. When you're reading somebody, you're calling on, like me, I'm calling on now the jinn mainly, but any spirits, guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, saints, spirit guides, they emit this kind of like a dry heat, especially the jinn. So, and you're picking up on their energy, you're picking it up and bringing it onto your table wherever you're reading yourself. And so it's like you're bringing it on top of you, and that makes you extremely exhausted. So you're absorbing this energy and you're not filtering it. And like with me, you know, and I'm sure some of you guys can confuse compassion with responsibility. Like I would make people's problems, like within my work and even in my friendships, like their problems become my problems, and I would take it on as such. Even if you're doing spiritual work for somebody, you know, you can't confuse what your work with being obligated or responsible for the success of every part of their life forever. And even with what you're being paid to manifest for them, it is not your responsibility to make that happen 100% what they want, because nobody is a living, breathing deity. Nobody is God. All you can guarantee is that you will deliver on what's promised, which is you will do your level best and continue to work. So, was it baneful work or Cushing's? It was baneful work that caused the Cushing's. So, when people do baneful work, it takes the route of least resistance. So, Jesus Christ showed up. Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of my life, you pussy, if you don't want to listen. bitch ass. Bye-bye. Tell your mother to shut up. Anyway, what if this energy, envy or energy draining comes from a family member or siblings? That's hard and disappointing too. Hey, Rebecca. If it, I mean, you can't choose your family, but you can't, you don't have to let them in your life. You don't have to give them access to you constantly. So yeah, it was both. It was baneful work that caused the Cushings. So when someone does baneful magic, it takes the route of least resistance. So if she was already weak, hormonally, that's it attacked her hormones. So when you do baneful work, it attacks whatever is like the easiest to what where you're weak, basically. So it was both. What spells can we do for healing to get out of a dark place? There's a lot. You want to do releasing. I'll get to that. So, you're gonna want to make boundaries that are energetic and not just physical. I like to pour salt water in front of the door, like in a vase, so that it can filter energies. Wear like protection sigils, amulets, crystals. Okay, and then the three laws of energy. Okay, number one, access is energy. Number two, attention is currency. Number three, discernment is protection. Okay. Now, rituals. You could do some quick ones, right? So you can rub your hands together. All right. Rub your hands together and say out loud, anything not meant for me, leave me. Anything meant for me, strengthen me. And then blow on your hands and release. Okay. Don't go like one extreme or another. Either everyone is evil and cut everyone off. That can turn into like an issue. And that can turn people off long term. You just you want to use discernment. You don't want to be paranoid. All right. You want to feel empowered and smarter and more aware. You can do banishing rituals on the new moon or the day before, where you write all the things that you want removed from your life and then burn it outside on a new moon and just say that you're releasing that. Healing to get out of a dark place. It depends on what kind of dark place that you're talking about. You know what? I'm gonna post this. Put in the comments everything you guys want me to do a spell for you guys for, and I will do one. Okay, but for now, the one where you rub your hands together like this, and you speak, anything that's meant for me, anything that's mine can stay. Anything not meant for me, that is not helping me, that is toxic for me, that does not help my growth, can go. And then you put your hands together and blow it with your breath, blow it away. So put in the comments quick, if you want easy rituals that you can do for yourself, put that in the comments. Make sure you like this video, and I will do a pick a card if my clients that I'm behind with will let me. And please, you guys are like killing me with the 3 hour readings. Like, I will never catch up at this rate, and like, it's 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 getting to be overwhelming. Don't forget, I have spell work to do. Okay, I'm not sitting around on FaceTime all day with my friends or sitting around with my thumb up my ass. Like, I have work besides just the reading. So, you know, people will be, what really bothers me is people that will complain when Gabby let you book, even though I'm supposed to be closed, and she tells you guys, hey, Shireen's behind. I'm not even supposed to be booking these readings. And then, when I have to move you, some people will be the first ones to complain, but y'all be the ones that keep me on the phone for 3 and 4 hours. And if I wanted to get technical, I could bill you for hours that you've kept me on the phone. That's like so, like, I would never have the audacity. Like, if I knew that every time I did a reading with you, I've kept you on the phone for hours extra, and even some people have put their mothers or sisters on the phone and had me read them, or just took up my time telling me about the whole situation first, and then took an hour of that, and then they wanted their reading, and then when I say, oh, you have any other questions, then ask me another 50 million questions. Okay, I let you do that, so be a little like graceful when it comes to me getting to you, because technically every single one of y'all would owe me, because I've gone above and beyond when it comes to readings. Not one of you could ever say that I've given you any less than a 2 hour reading at some point. So, empathy without boundaries is self destruction. Protect your energy, Miss Shireen, and don't let these people overwhelm you. Yes, ma'am. It's not, girl, I cannot wait to tell you guys what somebody had the audacity to do and really is trying the wrong one. I cannot wait. People do not learn. People do not learn. But I'll just say this. I can't wait to don't play with me when it comes to legalities with court situations, because let me tell you, I'm the queen of keeping documentation and receipts. When you try to help somebody out of the kindness of your heart, let me not. This I'll tell you guys the tea when all this is, but it has to do with something I've talked about previously. You would not believe it if I told you. Like, if I told you, you'd be like disgusted. You'd be like, wow, the audacity. But it doesn't even like phase me at all. In fact, I'm happy that this door has been opened, because now I get to counter it and get my shit that was just, people are so, like, don't piss on an ant fire. That's another, like, leave well enough alone. If you know you did wrong, and you've, like, for example, just an example, like, damage someone's property, like, say, hypothetically, you damage someone's property after renting it. and they rented it to you as a favor, let's say, after you begged them because you had nowhere else, hypothetically speaking, of course, and you damaged it beyond repair because, for whatever reason, probably maliciously, it looks malicious, but, and you have, you're dealing with somebody who's been a landlord for many years now. Yeah, I know, babe, I'm coming. Many years. So I keep all my documents, walkthroughs, what the property looked like before, right after. And you think that you're going to somehow get over on somebody when they are the last one you should be trying this with. It just is astounding to me. But wait until I'm able to discuss. Yeah. Yeah, don't say anything until after. I will tell you all the tea, and I mean all the tea after everything is done. But just wait. Somebody really pissed on a fire ant, or pissed on a wasp nest, and they're gonna wish they didn't. In my opinion, allegedly. So hypothetically, but just wait. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. You guys are gonna be so entertained. So entertained. Oh my god. Some people have no common sense. And not all lawyers look out for people's best interests, or they're probably lied to. But we're gonna see who's gonna win this. But I know you guys are probably like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? You'll find out. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm gonna get off here. I'm glad you like my little beauty. I am a damn bad bitch, aren't I? For 43. 43, bitch. No Botox. No filler. No nothing. I did get my lips filled in 2023, but that shit's long gone. And I tried a filler right here in 2017, and I got it dissolved because it was horrible. But other than that, not a single bit of Botox. Look. Not that I like talking shit about anybody who gets Botox or filler. You do your thing, girl. A lot of my friends do. They've been getting it since they were 28. I'm just saying, at 43, I still have not gotten it. I got my lips filled once in 2023. My friend did it. My Raspberry sister did it. I haven't gotten it done since, and I don't think there's any left. And I had nice teeth. I did get my teeth done, but I had nice teeth before. But no, no Botox. No Botox. Not once, never. So, and I'm still flat. I love you guys, and I will see you. I'm going to do pick a card, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and run this video up before I go. I'm waiting. Thank you guys, and put in the comments what spells you want me to talk about, and like I can like do examples and like different things that you guys want to know. Different like easy rituals that you can do for your home, for your health, for your money, whatever. And just put it in the comments and I'll do one at a time. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, hype my video if you can, and don't forget to comment. That really helps, especially because I talk about my homeland. They always try to slow my stuff down. So leaving comments really helps. So to each and every one of you who's been rocking with me and who's been liking my videos and commenting and just watching, I really appreciate your support and love. And I will see you in the next one. And don't forget, visit my website at www.arabianconjure.com. We just put these beautiful, I don't know if you guys seen the evil eye crystal pieces. They have all different crystals. It's covered in epoxy. And I'm going to post the new brooms. They're gorgeous. We just make them better and better every time. Now Justin covers it in epoxy so none of the herbs and none of the crystals fall off. They're like, mwah, chef's kiss, and they're really powerful. So they're good to keep the law away, protection, prosperity. One main intention per broom because I can't put like 50, 11 intentions for one broom. Although we have done for some people, but it's just too much. So anyway, I love you guys. www.arabianconjure.com. Toodles, bitch.